Archaeologists have always firmly maintained that there was no megalithic architecture before 6,000 years ago. And when I say megalithic, I mean huge stones, stone circles, enormous constructions. But what if I told you that a global cataclysm, roughly 12,500, 12,800 years ago, could have wiped out an advanced civilization from prehistory? Imagine a world where our distant ancestors, even before Homo sapiens, built wooden structures with astonishing skill. Believe it or not, scientists in Africa have just found the oldest known wooden structure, dating back almost 500,000 years. Mysterious disappearances of ships and planes are perhaps the most well-known thing about the Bermuda Triangle. However, what's stranger than what hasn't been found here is what has been found. Nearly 500 feet below the water's surface, in an underwater anomaly, the Bermuda Triangle Into Cursed Waters team has discovered what appears to be a man-made monolithic rock. The limestone is perfectly cut with straight, uniform edges, and that's just the beginning. Get ready to explore ancient wonders from Greece to Japan that could change everything you thought you knew about early humans. Could it be part of some ancient underwater structure or a stone from a shipwreck? Thousands of miles away, off the coast of Japan, some believe they found evidence of another lost kingdom. Do you dare to uncover these enigmas? Join us on this fascinating and surprising journey. And if you like this type of content, subscribe to our channel. It's free. Number 1. The wooden structure in Zambia. Hidden beneath the waters of the Kalambo River in northern Zambia, archaeologists have found something truly incredible. A wooden structure that is about 476,000 years old. Yes, you heard right. This amazing discovery is so old that it predates Homo sapiens. This means that our ancient ancestors could have been much more advanced than we ever thought. These wooden logs found near the beautiful Kalambo Falls were likely part of a platform, a passageway, a storage place, or maybe even the base of a shelter. Imagine it, an early human community using what they had around them to build something that would last for almost 500,000 years, hidden underwater all this time. But that's not all. This site has been a gold mine for archaeologists since the 1950s. They've found not only this ancient wooden structure, but also stone tools, preserved pollen, and other wooden objects. Number 2. The Lion Gate at Mycenae. Okay, let's go back in time to ancient Greece. We're talking about the Lion Gate at Mycenae, a pretty amazing piece of history that shows just how advanced the Mycenaean civilization was. This gate was built around the 13th century BC. And it's not just a big stone entrance, it's a symbol of power, art, and culture. Picture this. A gate nearly 10 feet tall and wide that marks the entrance to the ancient city of Mycenae, a place where a powerful civilization once thrived. The gate is decorated with 2 stone lions that appear to be guarding it, with a large triangular stone above them. This wasn't just any gate. Anyone who approached it would have been reminded of the Mycenaean king's strength and authority. But there's more to it than just its impressive appearance. Behind the gate is a covered area and a small room that was likely used as a guard post. So it wasn't just a gate, it was a grand entrance into a world of ancient power and mystery, where kings walked and history was carved in stone. The Lion Gate was rediscovered in the 19th century by a German archaeologist named Heinrich Schliemann. Today, it's one of the oldest and most important structures we know of. It gives us a glimpse into a long-lost world that helped shape much of Western history. Number 3. The Underwater City in Japan. Now we're going to dive into the ocean near Japan, where something mysterious lurks beneath the waves. It's called the Yonaguni Monument, and it's got scientists scratching their heads. This strange underwater structure was found by a local diver named Kihachiro Aratake, and some people even call it Japan's Atlantis. When you see it, it's hard to believe that it's just a natural rock formation. The monument has sharp angles, flat surfaces, and straight edges that make it look like something humans could have built. Some people even think that it could be over 10,000 years old, meaning that it could have been made by a civilization we don't yet know about. But here's where it gets tricky. While some researchers are convinced that humans must have carved this structure, others argue that it's just a natural formation that looks man-made. If it turns out that humans built it, it would shake up what we know about ancient history. Could there have been an advanced civilization in Japan much earlier than we thought? Number 4. Dolmens found in Europe and Japan. Let's dive into the mystery of dolmens, these ancient stone structures found all over Europe and even Japan. These dolmens are tombs made of large stones with a large flat stone placed on top. They date back to the Neolithic and early Bronze Age, which is a long time ago. But this is where it gets interesting. Despite being so far apart geographically, dolmens in Europe and Japan look strikingly similar. So how did two different societies, living in completely different parts of the world, end up building such similar structures? Some people think this could be due to shared knowledge that somehow spread across the globe. Others have even suggested the involvement of extraterrestrial beings. Although these ideas are quite speculative, they do show just how mysterious these ancient monuments are. But dolmens weren't just burial sites. They were probably also places where communities gathered for rituals. The fact that people managed to move and position such massive stones means that they had to be highly organized and skilled. Although they left no written records, these structures tell us a lot about what their societies might have been like. In Japan, you'll mostly find dolmens in the Kinki region. In Europe, they're scattered from places like Spain and Portugal to the British Isles. The fact that these structures are so similar despite vast distances and different timelines really challenges what we know about how ancient societies communicated and exchanged ideas. Number 5. Longyou Caves in China. Imagine discovering a hidden world right beneath your feet, a massive network of man-made caves so precise and mysterious that they leave you speechless. Well, that's exactly what happened in 1992 in a small village in Jiang Province, China. Villagers drained a pond, and what they found underneath was something no one could have expected: the Longyou Caves. The Longyou Caves are one of the greatest enigmas in ancient history, not only because of their massive size, but also because there are no records of who built them or why. There are a total of 24 caves covering an area of about 30,000 square meters. These caves were carefully carved out of solid rock with incredibly smooth and straight walls. Some of the caves are up to 30 meters high, and it is estimated that nearly 1 million cubic meters of rock were removed to create them. It's a massive amount of work, especially when you think about the limited tools people had back then. But that's not all. What adds to the mystery are the parallel lines and detailed patterns carved into every surface of the caves. These designs are the same in every cave, which makes one wonder how they managed to do this without modern technology. And here's the strangest part. Despite all the excavations and searches, no one has found any tools or evidence of how these caves were built. Number 6. Advanced stone blocks at the Baalbek Temple. In the heart of Lebanon, there is a place that leaves everyone in awe: the Baalbek Temple complex. In ancient times, this place was known as Heliopolis and is home to the great temple of Jupiter. What makes this site so incredible are the massive stone blocks used in its construction, some of the largest ever seen. The size of these stones and how they were perfectly placed continues to baffle historians and engineers today. One of the most famous stones is called the Pregnant Woman Stone. This massive block weighs around 1,000 tons and was found in a nearby quarry. Just thinking about how these massive stones were moved and placed is astounding, especially when you consider the limited technology they had back then. Did the ancient builders of Baalbek have some kind of advanced machinery, or did they find creative ways and use a large workforce to get the job done? But there is more to Baalbek than just the size of its stones. The temples are beautifully decorated with intricate carvings and detailed designs that showcase the incredible skill of the ancient craftsmen. The precision of the stonework and the intricacy of the temple design suggest that these builders had a deep understanding of architecture and engineering. There are all sorts of theories about how these massive stones were moved. Some people think they used sleds and ropes, while others have more unusual ideas, such as alien intervention. Although these ideas are just speculation, they highlight the sense of wonder and mystery surrounding Baalbek. Number 7. Lion Rock in Sri Lanka. Atop a towering rock in Sri Lanka sits the ancient fortress of Sigiriya, also known as the Lion Rock. It is a stunning example of ancient engineering and the brilliance of the Sinhalese civilization. Built in the late 5th century AD by King Kasyapa, this fortress was designed to be an impregnable stronghold against his enemies. But Sigiriya is more than just a military fort. It is also a masterpiece of urban planning, architecture, and art. The rock itself, rising 200 meters above the landscape, is a natural wonder. Its steep sides and overhanging peak made it the perfect location for a fortress. At the top, King Kasyapa built a palace in the shape of a lion, hence the name of the site, Sigiriya, or Lion Rock. To enter the palace, you had to walk through the gaping jaws of a massive lion statue, a powerful symbol of the king's strength and authority. The craftsmanship at Sigiriya is truly impressive. The palace complex included beautifully designed gardens, ponds, and terraces, all carefully constructed to be both impressive and defensible. The walls of Sigiriya are decorated with frescoes that are some of the finest examples of ancient Sinhala art, showing images of celestial maidens and scenes from the king's court. Building Sigiriya on such a challenging site shows how advanced their architectural knowledge was at the time. The fortress not only served as a military stronghold, but also as a symbol of the king's divine right to rule. Today, Sigiriya is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that attracts visitors from around the world. Its combination of natural beauty and human creativity continues to inspire awe and wonder. Number 8. Megastructure found in New Zealand. Deep in the Kawa forest in New Zealand is a mysterious structure that has sparked much debate, the Kawa Wall. When you first see it, this massive stone wall with its uniform rectangular blocks and perfectly straight lines looks like it was built by an ancient civilization. But the big question is, was it made by humans, or is it just a natural formation? The Kawa Wall is about 30 meters long and 2 meters high. The stones seem to fit together so perfectly that it's hard not to think they were deliberately placed there. This has led some people to believe that the wall could be the remains of an advanced civilization that lived in New Zealand long before the Maori arrived. However, most scientists who have studied the wall believe that it is a natural formation created by volcanic activity. They think that the wall is a natural outcrop of a type of rock called ignimbrite, which forms from the deposits of volcanic eruptions. The straight lines and blocky shapes are thought to be the result of natural cracks and erosion over thousands of years. But not everyone is convinced by the scientific explanations. Number 9. Yangshan Quarry. In the shadow of Nanjing, China, there is a place that tells an incredible story of ancient engineering and imperial ambition, the Yangshan Quarry. This site was active for 6 dynasties, but it is most famous for a massive project ordered by the Yongle Emperor during the Ming Dynasty. Yongle wanted to honor his predecessor Zhu Yuanzhang, and to do so, he commissioned the creation of a giant stele, which is a type of stone monument. The project was massive. Legend has it that 3,000 craftsmen worked for 300 days to cut and carve 3 enormous blocks of stone that would form the head, body, and base of the stele. The stone at the quarry is difficult to carve, which made this task even more challenging. However, the size of the blocks and the detailed craftsmanship shows just how advanced the tools and techniques Ming Dynasty craftsmen had at their disposal were. But the story of the Yangshan Quarry is not just about cutting and carving, it also shows the logistical challenges of the time. Moving and positioning such massive stones was not easy. It required not only a lot of physical strength, but also clever engineering. The remains of the quarry reveal just how organized and resourceful the ancient Chinese builders were. Today, the Yangshan Quarry stands as a monument to the greatness of the Ming Dynasty and the incredible skills of its people. It is a powerful reminder of how the desire to leave a legacy and monumental achievements can leave a lasting mark on history. Number 10. The Ellora Caves and Kailasa Temple. In the heart of Maharashtra, India, lies the Ellora Caves, a stunning example of ancient architectural genius. Among these 34 rock-cut temples, one stands out as truly extraordinary: the Kailasa Temple. What makes this temple so amazing is that it was carved out of a single massive block of basaltic rock. To create it, workers had to remove some 200,000 tons of rock over about 18 years. The Kailasa Temple is unique in many ways. Unlike most temples, it was not built from the ground up. Instead, it was excavated from the top down, with workers carving away at the rock to reveal the temple's incredible details. This method allowed them to create intricate carvings and grand halls directly from the rock. The temple features beautifully detailed monoliths, staircases, and doorways, all carefully carved into the rock. The engineering skill required for this massive project shows just how advanced the builders were. The design of the Kailasa Temple reflects not only the artistic vision of the time, but also the engineering skills required to bring such a grand structure to life. Number 11. Masada. Perched on a rugged mountain in Israel, the Masada Fortress is an incredible example of ancient military architecture and endurance. Built by King Herod the Great, Masada was designed as both a royal palace and a strong fortress. Its location, high above the desert, provided a natural defense against any invaders. One of the most impressive features of Masada is its advanced water management system. In order to survive in the harsh desert environment, the fortress had a complex network of systems and aqueducts. This system ensured that residents always had a reliable water supply, which was crucial to their survival. The fortress also had strong defensive walls and watchtowers, showing how carefully it was planned. The intricate engineering involved in the construction of Masada reflects a deep understanding of military and civil engineering principles. Number 12. Karnak Temple Complex. In the city of Luxor, Egypt, the Karnak Temple Complex stands out as one of the grandest religious sites ever built. Over its 10,000-year history, this complex became home to the Temple of Amun-Ra, which is the largest religious building ever created. One of its most famous features is the hypostyle hall, built during the reign of Seti I. The hypostyle hall is enormous, covering some 50,000 square meters, and is supported by 134 massive columns. Each column is covered in detailed carvings and hieroglyphics. The size and complexity of the hall shows how advanced the engineering of the ancient Egyptians was. The scale and detailed design of the Karnak Temple complex makes us question what kind of technology and skills the builders had. The size and complexity of these structures reveal much about the advanced capabilities of ancient Egyptian construction. As an important place of worship dedicated to the god Amun-Ra, Karnak continues to amaze people today. Number 13. Colosseum. Rising in the heart of Rome, the Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater, is an astonishing example of ancient engineering and architecture. Built by Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty, this massive amphitheater was designed to host gladiatorial games and other public events, and could hold up to 50,000 people. The construction of the Colosseum is truly impressive. It rises some 155 meters high and has a complex system of vaults and arches supported by 80 semicircular columns. This design shows just how advanced Roman builders were, with a keen understanding of how to handle large crowds and use space effectively. The Colosseum was built from concrete and stone, which helped it last for centuries. Its vast size and detailed architecture highlight the advanced technology of ancient Rome and showcase the empire's ambition and ability to innovate. Number 14. Tower of Jericho. Imagine a stone tower built with such skill that it seemed impossible for its time. This is the Tower of Jericho, an 8.5-meter high stone structure from the Neolithic period, discovered by Kathleen Kenyon between 1952 and 1958. It is one of the oldest known stone buildings. What was the purpose of this ancient tower? Some think it was a fortification, while others believe it could have been used to prevent flooding or for rituals. What is most fascinating is its possible connection to the stars. Studies show that the tower was built so that during the summer solstice, the shadows of the nearby mountains aligned perfectly with the tower, covering the entire village. This suggests that the tower was not only practical, but also had symbolic meaning, perhaps celebrating the strength of the community. The precise alignment with celestial events hints at the advanced knowledge of astronomy that the builders had. Number 15. Çatalhöyük. At the Neolithic site in present-day Turkey, there is an ancient settlement called Çatalhöyük that offers us a fascinating insight into early human life. Although it is not the oldest or largest site, it is very important for understanding how people lived some 9,000 years ago. At its peak, Çatalhöyük was home to about 8,000 people who had moved from hunting and gathering to farming and animal domestication. What is interesting about Çatalhöyük is how the village was laid out. There were no streets or roads. Instead, houses were built side by side. People walked around on the rooftops and entered their houses through openings in the roof using ladders. This unique layout saved space and gives us clues about how people lived together at that time. The artifacts found at Çatalhöyük include small figurines and intricate designs. These works of art show that the people had a rich cultural and spiritual life, with images of animals and people hinting at their beliefs. The numerous artifacts suggest that the community was deeply involved in artistic expression. Number 16. Knap of Howard. On Scotland's Orkney Islands, a remarkable find shows us how early Europeans built their homes. Dating from around 3,700 BC to 2,800 BC, the oldest standing stone building in northwest Europe, the Knap of Howard consists of two well-preserved stone houses. These buildings are notable for their circular design and features, such as stone cupboards and stables, which reveal a sophisticated understanding of space and construction. The people who lived here were early farmers who used both the land and the sea for their food. Excavations at Knap of Howard began in the 1930s and continued into the 1970s. The discoveries offer us a fascinating insight into the daily life of these early inhabitants. The careful placement of stones and solid construction methods show how skilled these ancient builders were. Number 17. Abu Simbel Temple. Along the Nile River, the Abu Simbel temples stand as incredible examples of ancient Egyptian skill and artistry. Carved into the side of a mountain, the site has two temples. The largest features 4 enormous statues of Ramses II, each about 21 meters tall. What makes Abu Simbel special is how it aligns with the sun twice a year, on October 22nd and February 22nd. The sunlight illuminates the inner part of the temple, illuminating 3 of the statues, including that of Ramses II. This shows that the ancient Egyptians had a sophisticated knowledge of astronomy. Rediscovered in the 19th century, the temples had been buried under sand and silt. Johann Ludwig Burckhardt first mentioned them in 1813, but it was Giovanni Battista Belzoni who cleared away enough sand in 1817 to uncover their beautiful interiors. This discovery greatly advanced our knowledge of ancient Egypt. Number 18. Megalithic wonders of Pumapunku and Tiwanaku. High in the Andes of Bolivia, the ruins of Tiwanaku and Pumapunku display some amazing ancient stonework. These sites are famous for their massive, precision-cut stone blocks, which have baffled experts for years. The size and precision of the stonework suggest that the builders had advanced techniques, challenging what we know about ancient construction. Tiwanaku was first mentioned by Spanish explorers in the 16th century, but serious study did not begin until the 19th century. In 1848, the Bolivian government began studying the site, marking the beginning of formal archaeological work at Pumapunku. Some stone blocks weigh up to 130 tons and are cut with incredible precision. How these stones were moved and shaped remains a mystery. People have proposed various theories about how the stones were transported and worked. Some suggest advanced tools, while others even wonder if aliens played a role. Despite much research, we still don't know for sure. Number 19. Lost City of the Incas, Machu Picchu. High in the Peruvian Andes, Machu Picchu is an astonishing example of Incan architecture and engineering. Known as the Lost City of the Incas, it became famous in 1911 when explorer Hiram Bingham introduced it to the world. But what makes Machu Picchu so special? Machu Picchu is famous for its incredible stonework. The Incas used a special technique to cut and fit the stones together perfectly without the need for mortar. This method is not only impressive, but also makes the building strong enough to withstand earthquakes. The stones fit together so well that not even a knife blade can slip between them. The design of Machu Picchu is typical of the Incan style. Most buildings are rectangular with individual doors, and the walls are solid without partitions, creating open and functional spaces. The design is simple and blends in well with the natural landscape. The rediscovery of Machu Picchu gave us new insights into the Inca Empire, which had been largely forgotten until the Spanish conquest. The site shows us how the Incas planned their cities and practiced their religion, revealing a sophisticated society whose achievements still amaze us. Number 20. Mayan Ruins of Palenque. In the dense jungles of southern Mexico, the ancient city of Palenque stands as a fascinating piece of Mayan history and architecture. Built into a hillside, this city includes over 1,500 structures, although only about 50 have been unearthed so far. What makes Palenque so intriguing? One of the most famous monuments in Palenque is the Temple of the Inscriptions. This pyramid-shaped building is known for its detailed hieroglyphic inscriptions. These inscriptions give us important clues about Mayan history, including their rulers and religious beliefs. The artwork shows how advanced the Mayans were with their calendar knowledge and systems. The layout of the city reflects the impressive engineering skills of the Mayans. The buildings have elaborate carvings and sculptures that are not only decorative, but also have meanings related to astronomy and the calendar. The layout of Palenque, with its large plazas and ceremonial buildings, shows that it was an important center for Mayan life. Although the jungle has encroached on parts of Palenque, the unearthed ruins still reveal a once vibrant and important city. While there are many theories about the Maya, including some about extraterrestrial influences, the ruins show the creativity and rich culture of the Maya. As more is discovered, Palenque continues to fascinate and inspire curiosity about this ancient civilization. We've reached the end of this video. Tell us your opinion in the comments box. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss future videos like this one. See you next time.